Be wary of spoilers for the following program. Texhnolyze. Man, what a depressing show. But I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. It's because of stories like these, when we can see how bad things can really get, it makes us realize how our own situations may not be as bad as we thought, and that we can still do something about it. For example, take our protagonist, Ichise. Not only do we learn through his backstory that his dad was framed for a crime that he didn't commit and was executed in front of him, his mother slowly withered and died of disease in front of him as a child while he could do nothing. Then he gets sent over to an underground fighting ring, to which then his body is effectively sold by patrons of the ring, and when things got taken too far and he defends himself, then he gets sent on the run, and it costs him an arm and a leg. And in this case, it's quite literal. And this show isn't hunky-dory about getting replacements right away. No, you watch him suffer. Try to make do without having the limbs that he used to have for literally his entire life. And that's the main point about this show. It's slow. Not slow as in boring, but you don't just watch what's going on, you feel what's going on. When an action is taken, it's not so easily undone. In fact, the very first episode only has 7 lines of dialogue, and those are only from one side of a telephone conversation. The rest of it is just sight, sounds, turning into events with consequences. This introduction is a perfect example of show don't tell, and it takes hold of your curiosity and concentration the entire time. But not all of this show is about our protagonist. In all honesty, it just shows that our protagonist is in the show. It's more about the city, Lucas, than anything else. Not only do we have 3 main groups of authority in contention over the city, we also have an outside authority trying to throw a wrench into this peace that has been tentatively established. In no small part to Onishi Keigo, the man in charge of the Organo group, which is basically the mob, is the man who's honestly the most effective and capable of defending the city's peace at this time. And while he isn't exactly friendly toward Ichise, he does turn into almost a sort of mentor character for Ichise, not only giving him a position and place to be when he needed it, but also teaching him what sort of personality would be needed to survive in the city. But that opportunity given to Ichise would have never happened if it weren't for the whimsical intervention of Eriko, someone who specializes in making Texhnolyze limbs. As it turns out, the best limbs are made by those who are a little too attracted to their own handiwork. Though the strangest character that we'll meet in this show is most definitely Ron, a girl who happens to be able to see the future of a clan who would rather keep itself hidden. And while in the grand scheme of things she doesn't actually have a whole lot of screen time, it's through the actions that she influences that causes the continuation of the peace we know of in the city of Lucas, while also causing its eventual fall. And then we have Yoshi, a newcomer to the town of Lucas, trying to learn the way of the land, but also has his own mission. But outside of the characters of the main story, the soundtrack is also kind of interesting. You'd expect a lot of dark and dreary songs to go with this sort of apocalyptic vibe, but you also get quite a bit of piano.
Wasn't there a wish? Wasn't there a dream?
And even a few jazzy tracks. It's a bit surprising, but I don't hate it. All in all, Texhnolyze is an interesting experience. A show that I probably wouldn't rewatch at least too often, as there are even more morally questionable things that happen in the show that I'm not showing here. But to understand evil in the world, you have to see evil. And in this case, at least, this evil is fiction. Thank you for making it this far. Please like and subscribe for a better microphone.